Hi there, in this video we are going to find the surface area of a triangular prism. So to start with, you have to know what a triangular prism is and what it looks like. So a triangular prism has two triangular faces that are opposite each other. So in this prism here, we see one triangle right here, and then we see another triangle in the back, and they're opposite each other. They are also congruent, which means that they're the same size and shape, and they are also called bases. So anytime you have a prism where you have the two shapes that are congruent, those are your bases, opposite and congruent. All right, so this is an example of a triangular prism, and this is also an example of a triangular prism. If you look up here, right, here's one triangle and here's another triangle. They are opposite and congruent each other. All right, so our surface area, we have to remember that surface area means that you need to find the total area of all the faces added together. So in our first example, we have find the surface area. So let's first start with the area of the bases. I usually like doing that first. So our base obviously is a triangle because this is a triangular prism, right? Just because it is on its side, all right, the bases are still the triangles, okay? The base is not this rectangle. The bases are still the triangles. So for your triangle 1, which I'm going to just call the front, I don't know. You can call it whatever. We have to know first how to find the area of a triangle, which is 1/2 times base times height. So to find the area of this triangle in the front, you would do 1/2 times 4 times 6. So 1/2 times 4 times 6, that will get you 12, right? Half of 4 is 2 times 6 is 12. Now, the front triangle and the back triangle, those are both congruent. So you actually have the same measurements. And just in case you can't tell, right, 6 is down here, so that means it's also over here. All right, 5 is a slant, 5 is a slant here. So you should be aware that these two triangles are congruent just by looking at them. So what we use is the base and the height of the triangle. So the base is 6, and then the height has to be the same as the height here, which is 4. So half of 4 is 2 times 6 gets you 12. Together, the two triangles' bases add up to 24. For the next portion of what you're going to do to find the surface area, you would find the area of the other three sides. So the other three sides here are rectangles. So I'm going to start first with this one because I think it's the easiest one to see. So you see 5 and 7 are your dimensions. So 5 times 7 gets you 35. Sorry. For the second rectangle, which is the one on the bottom here, we have 6 and 7 are your dimensions. So 6 times 7 gets you 42. And then the rectangle on the left side, which this one's a little bit more difficult to see, but we'll take a look. So on the left side here is this rectangle in the back. All right, and this rectangle is actually the same as this rectangle. And if you don't see that or you don't understand that, right? This side here, this edge, I should say, right? This edge is 7 because this edge is 7. All right, so whatever this is, then this has to be. So it'll be 7, and then the height of this rectangle or the slant is the same as the slant here. So if this is 5, that means that this is 5, which means that this also is 5. So your dimensions for the last rectangle are 5 and 7, which will get you 35 again. So all these added together gets you 112. And then you would find the total by adding all of the sides up. So you would do 24 plus 112, which will get you 136. All right, and for our next example, we have another triangular prism here. This one looks a little bit different, but nonetheless, it's still a triangular prism. So you have two triangles, one in the front and one in the back. All right, and again, they are congruent. So in order to find the area of the triangles, you would do 1/2 times base, which is 1, times height, which is 2. So 1/2 times 1 times 2, which will get you 1. On the other side, I'm actually going to get rid of this feet because it's really supposed to say feet squared. On the other side, which is in the back here, we have the same dimensions. So don't be thrown off by this 2.2. Right? We need to worry about this, the height and the base of the triangle. So the height and the base, remember the triangles are congruent, so it's 1/2 times 1 times 2, which will also get you 1. And again, same thing. Now I should say the two triangles together, they add up to be 2. Now you have to find the area of your other side. So here is one rectangle, here is another rectangle, and here is another rectangle. So we are first going to start with the rectangle on the right. So I consider this to be the right side of this. You don't have to call it the right side. You could call it rectangle 1. You could call it whatever. So the dimensions are 2.2 and 3. So when you multiply 2.2 times 3, you end up getting 6.6. For the rectangle on the bottom, which is down here, the dimensions are 1 and 3. So 1 times 3 gets you 3. And then the third rectangle that is back here, your dimensions are 2 and 3. So 2 times 3, that gets you 6. And so your total for the 3 rectangles would be 15.6. So then you have to find the total of the whole prism. So you would add 2 plus 15.6 to end up getting you 17.6 feet squared. All right, so that is how you find the surface area of a triangular prism. I hope this helped. Thank you for watching.